If you've been posting videos consistently and getting some engagement or maybe even some comments, but none of it turns into real conversations or clients, I want to speak to you plainly. This isn't an effort problem. It's a clarity problem. Now, this isn't a video about posting more. It's not about better hooks, trends, or even the algorithm. And it's not a how-to or a checklist. What I want to give you instead is clarity. Specifically, clarity on why your content hasn't been doing the job you think that it should. Here's where it quietly breaks. Initially, you don't assume a video doesn't work. You assume you're just missing a piece. So you keep going. You keep trying to be more intentional about what you say. You start thinking about structure. You pay closer attention to what other people are posting. And every time something almost works, a post may get a little more traction or a video may get a bit more comments than usual. It reinforces the idea that you're close enough that you shouldn't stop, close enough that more effort feels justified. So you keep producing. You keep refining. You keep telling yourself that consistency will eventually sort it all out. And without realizing it, you stop asking what each video is actually meant to do. You start treating video content like something that should pay off over time instead of an asset designed to create a specific outcome. That's the shift most business owners never make. Video isn't something you post and hope pays off over time. It's something you design with intent, and design forces decisions. It forces you to decide what matters, what doesn't, and what the viewer should walk away understanding after they're done watching. When that intent is missing, content becomes interchangeable. One video blurs into the next and nothing compounds, even if you stay consistent. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because nothing has been defined strongly enough to guide someone forward. That's why the content feels busy, but disconnected. And why more output doesn't change the outcome. This isn't obvious, especially if you're good at what you do. When you're competent, efforts cover up a lot of the strategic gaps, especially if you're already getting some engagement. That feedback makes it feel like the strategy is working. So you don't step back and you don't redesign. You just try harder inside of the same approach. You can stay busy, you can stay consistent, and nothing feels broken enough to force a rethink. So the problem stays invisible. Over time, this doesn't just slow content. It quietly changes how people experience it. Conversations take longer. You find yourself explaining more, clarifying what you do, reestablishing context you thought was already clear. And none of it feels like a failure. It just feels like friction. But that friction compounds because from the outside looking in, it looks like you're doing everything right. You're posting, people are engaging, and nothing is obviously broken. So the real cost stays hidden. And while nothing looks wrong, the business stops moving forward. Every sales conversation starts further back than it needs to. Every discovery calls take more energy. Every explanation resets instead of building on it. People might like you. They might respect your work, but liking isn't the same as trusting, and respect isn't the same as understanding. And when someone doesn't fully understand you, they don't take action. They don't inquire. They don't refer. They just keep watching and they keep scrolling. That gap between attention and action is where momentum gets lost quietly over time. So the question isn't whether or not video actually works. The real question is, what should your content be doing before someone ever reaches out?